Good day, everyone. This is Karen Wagan Pastrana, Instructor 1 from the College of Management. Today, we will tackle Lesson 5, which is all about electronic payment systems within the context of e-commerce and internet marketing. To start with our discussion, let us define what we actually mean when we talk about these digital systems. What are electronic payment systems? These are digital methods used to pay for goods and services online. They are very important for modern e-commerce because they make transactions secure, fast, and convenient. We will look at cards like e-wallets, no, such as GCash and PayMaya or Maya, and newer technologies. Since we use this daily, let us look at the specific methods most common here in the Philippines. Filipinos use a variety of options: credit and debit cards like Visa, MasterCard, digital wallets, just like what I had mentioned earlier, and online bank transfers through Landbank, Metrobank, BDO, BPI, and other banking institutions or online banking platforms. We are also seeing a rise in QR code payments, where we usually generate QR code, then scan it for easy and secured payment transactions. While there are many brands, most systems fall into two main categories: paying before or paying later. Now we'll move on to understand the difference between a prepaid and postpaid payment system. This is essential for managing e-commerce transactions and budgeting. Prepaid means you pay before using the service. Now it's just like a mobile load, while a postpaid means you pay after. And it is like a credit card bill. Now understanding this helps with a better budgeting in e-commerce. Now let us dive deeper into examples of the pay first model or the prepaid payment system. In the Philippines, the Maya or GCash wallet and Smart or Globe mobile load are the most popular prepaid examples. The main benefit here is that you can spend more than what you have, which helps with budget control. On the other hand, some systems allow you to buy now and pay later. Moving on, we will explore some local examples of postpaid payment systems, where services are utilized first and settled through monthly billing or credit statements. This include credit cards from banks like BDO or Metrobank and subscription services like Netflix or Spotify. These are highly convenient because they allow for deferred payments to which happen when you do not pay for purchase immediately. Instead, you agree to pay for it later. Now that we know the types, how do they compare in terms of safety and management? For this comparison analysis, it can be noted that prepaid systems are safer for your budget and have lower risk exposure. On the other hand, postpaid systems offer more convenience but carry a risk of accumulating debt if not managed carefully. In the study of Baghelkar and Gupta in 2025, it was revealed that prepaid retentions relies heavily on volume-driven strategies like discounts and gamification, while postpaid retention is anchored in personalized services, bundling, and long-term relationship management. Regardless of the type you choose, all digital payments face certain security risks. While digital payments offer great convenience, they also come with significant security risks that every user and business must be aware of. Digital payments face threats like fraud, identity theft, and phishing. Data breaches and malware can also target your personal information or credentials using a transaction. An example of this happened right here in our local market. According to a Philippine news agency report, there has been a widespread phishing scams targeting GCash users in 2023. These scams involve fraudsters sending fake SMS messages that mimic official communications to trick victims into revealing their MPINs and account details. To fight these scams, developers use several layers of protection. For security solutions, systems use SSL, or what we call as the Secure Socket Layer, and TLS, or the Transport Layer Security Encryption, to protect data while it travels over the internet. Two-factor authentication, or the 2FA, adds a second layer of verification, like a code sent to your phone, to ensure it's really you. Beyond codes and passwords, we are now using our own bodies to secure our accounts. More than just using standard passwords, we also utilize advanced security measures like biometric authentication and strict industry standards to ensure that every transaction remains protected. For businesses, they follow the Payment Card Industry Data Security Standard, or PCI DSS, to keep card data safe. We can also use biometrics like fingerprints or facial recognition, which are much harder for hackers to steal than a password. Let's look closer at how biometrics work. What is then a biometric authentication? This uses your unique physical traits, like your face or voice, to verify your identity. It is more secure and convenient because you can forget your fingerprint like you might forget a password. You are likely to use this every time you unlock your phone or open a banking application. Okay, so now we will look at the different types of biometric identifiers, ranging from common fingerprints to advanced iris and voice recognition that help verify our identity during transactions. Other types include facial recognition and palm vein recognition. This kind of technology is already widely used across the Philippines. Biometric authentication is actually rapidly expanding in the Philippine financial services. GCash and many major banks in our country already use fingerprint and facial recognition for their applications and even some automated teller machines or ATMs. These digital tools are not just for convenience. They are part of a global goal for better infrastructure. Moving forward, we will discuss how these digital payment systems align with Sustainable Development Goal, specifically SDG 9, by fostering innovation and building a more resilient economic infrastructure. Digital payments support this by building the digital highways, which are needed for economic growth and innovation. In the Philippines, this has a very specific impact on people who don't have bank accounts. Now let us look at how these technologies create a tangible impact on our society, specifically by driving financial inclusion and bridging the digital divide Philippines. By means of financial inclusion, mobile wallets like Maya and GCash serve as a digital gateway for the millions of Filipinos who do not have traditional bank accounts, giving them access to secure financial services for the first time. In terms of infrastructure for all, by expanding digital payment capabilities, we are effectively building the digital roads necessary for remote and underserved rural communities to participate in the modern economy. Lastly, by bridging the divide, these financial technologies, or what we call as fintech innovations, empower small businesses and individuals nationwide, ensuring that progress in e-commerce isn't just limited to big cities but reaches every corner of the country. As we look toward a more digitized future, we must recognize the hurdles we still face and the exciting professional opportunities these challenges create for you as future business leaders. First is the infrastructure gaps. While digital payments are growing, many rural areas in the Philippines still suffer from dead spots or low internet connectivity. This creates a digital divide where some communities cannot yet fully transition away from cash. Second is the persistent cyber threats. Because hackers are constantly finding new ways to exploit systems, there is an ongoing need for stronger government regulations and continuous innovation in security software to keep consumers safe. Lastly, is the opportunities for BSBA students. These challenges aren't just problems, they are opportunities. The financial technology or fintech sector is booming in the Philippines, which creates a high demand for entrepreneurs and marketing professionals who understand digital infrastructure and secure commerce. To wrap up our discussion, here are the summary and key takeaways of our lesson that will serve as your foundation for understanding modern e-commerce operations. First, we've distinguished between various payment methods and the critical difference between prepaid or pay before and a postpaid or pay after models, which is the first step in mastering digital budgeting. Second, we highlighted that convenience must be balanced with safety. Essential tools like encryption, two-factor authentication or 2FA, and biometrics are the industry standards that protect both the business and the consumer from rising cyber threats. Last but not the least, we connected our lesson to Sustainable Development Goal 9, seeing how your role as a future business professionals contributes to the Philippines' economic growth through financial inclusion and digital innovation. As a final thought, remember that technology is always moving. Chris Q once said that ignoring technological change in a digital system is like a mouse starving because someone moved their cheese. Don't be that mouse. Always stay updated. And that ends lesson 5. Thank you for your attention. Let us use these digital tools safely and wisely as we shape the future of Philippine e-commerce.